I have big problems with all of my Powerstrokes. Over the past year, I've been able to purchase every single Powerstroke from the 7.3 all the way to the 6.7, and I've now been driving each one of these trucks for about 5,000 miles, and I have finally experienced my first big round of problems on all of these trucks. The good thing about me experiencing these problems is I own an automotive shop, so I know how to fix these problems, and I'm going to show you guys what I bought to fix them. I use my trucks as an experiment to help you guys decide if the modification I put on my vehicles is worth it to put on your vehicle. It also helps me decide if the part is worth it to put on a customer's truck. So that is the benefit of bringing your truck to my shop, because I have already installed the parts on my trucks that I'm going to install on your truck. And I know what companies are bad and what companies are good. So today we will show you all of the problems with all of my Powerstrokes and what we are going to do to fix them.
So we've been having some big problems with the Powerstrokes, and specifically on my 6.7 Powerstroke, we have got CP4 failure, or we're pretty positive CP4 failure is coming soon on this truck. So to protect it, we are going to go ahead and put this SNS disaster kit on it. I'm going to show you guys what comes in it and then exactly how it works on the truck. If you guys want to get this exact kit, we sell it at my automotive shop, or you guys can call us and we can install it for you as well. We sell them for $400, or you could also have us install them for between $1,100 and $1,500. If y'all guys want to, y'all guys can call the number on the screen or we can do it. All right, so this is what comes into the kit. This actually goes on top of the CP4 pump, and then this actually is attached to your fuel filter. It's not going to prevent CP4 failure. Whenever the pump does fail, it's not going to send all those metal shavings into my injectors. And also, when we get in there, I'm going to check for CP4 failure even more in depth by pulling the sensor that goes into the top of the pump. That'll be our telltale sign to see if this pump's going out and if it is even worth it to put this kit on it. So let's go ahead and jump into it.
We first started by removing the fuel lines. We then built the disaster kit. Once the disaster kit was built, we installed it as shown. We are now able to route our fuel lines to the disaster kit. Now it was time to install the line coming off the CP4 pump into the filter. We removed the hot side charge pipe, the air filter, and the upper and lower intake. We then were able to get to the fuel pressure regulator and removed it.
So the moment of truth, the moment everyone has been waiting for, what we have found when we pulled the actuator here to tell for CP4 failure, and we did find something. We found a little bit of glitter on there. Glitter not really right there, but when you start turning it to right there, there's a little bit down in there. You can barely see it. There it is starting to slowly go. This is the best way to check for CP4 failure. We caught it just in time. Y'all can see down in there the glitter around that edge right there. You can see it clear as day, and at the bottom down there. We caught it early, luckily, and now we're gonna go ahead and go on with this disaster kit. So the reason we do a disaster kit and I'm not doing a DCR pump is, one, the price. It's a lot more expensive to do a DCR pump. Almost $4,000 more expensive to do a DCR pump over a disaster kit at my shop. If you wanna buy it online, it's also about 5 times the price of a disaster kit. However, we went ahead and just did a disaster kit on this because there is still a little bit of life out of my CP4 pump that I can stretch. I'm gonna go ahead and do that with my disaster kit. So what I can do now is I can stretch the CP4 life by about 40,000 miles. I'm not gonna actually extend the life of the CP4, but I'm gonna get every single bit out of the CP4 pump without hurting my engine and hurting my injectors. That is why I installed a disaster kit over a DCR pump, because I want to see how long the CP4 goes before it actually does grenade and send all the metal to my disaster kit. I'm testing all this out for you guys as well, so that way y'all know how far and how much you should push your truck. So that way when you come into my shop, we know what we're doing. We've already seen it. We've already done it on my trucks, and we don't have to experiment on a customer's truck, how it affects my truck before y'all do it to y'all's.
Once we inspected and made sure my CP4 pump was okay, we reinstalled the regulator and routed our hoses to the disaster kit. Then we put everything back together as it came off and completed the install.
We just finished installing the SNS disaster kit. I have my upper radiator hose here is collapsed and my thermostat is going bad. I'm also going to be replacing the coolant cap as well with all of this, so that way it ensures that my truck doesn't get hot. Right now my oil temp's running at about 240 and my coolant's running at about 220. So I really don't like how hot my temps are, so I'm going to go ahead and fix what needs to be done too as well in a couple other videos. I want to give a shout out to BG Products. I've been running this actual lubricity every single tank for my CP4 pump, and it's actually extended the life quite a bit on my CP4. One thing that I did notice though, I actually did stop running this for about 2,000 miles, and in that 2,000 miles I actually had a code for an injector. So right when I stopped using this is when I started having problems, which is kind of weird. If you use this stuff religiously, every single tank, I put about 1/8 of a bottle. I sell this in the description down below if you guys want to get it. I don't make a whole lot of money on it, so if y'all guys want to buy it, they're not a sponsor or anything. I'm just selling it because it works so well, and it works so well on my vehicle, and Justin as well uses it on his vehicle, on his 6.7, and it just works amazing. And when I stopped using it is when I started seeing problems.
All right guys, we're about to fire up the rig here.
No leaks.
Good. Sounds good too. Hell yeah. Now time for the 6.4.
So this is just the start of my problems on this truck. I really want to get a fast fuel system on this vehicle as well, and also eventually do a actual DCR pump on it. It sounds freaking good because we have that KC Whistler turbo in there, but what I want to do now is this truck, basically there's not a whole lot of problems with it right now. It's been a pretty solid truck for how hard I've been beating on it. The reason I'm having these problems is because I beat on my truck so much. So now let's get into the 6.4. 6.4 has a ton of problems, and we're just basically going to go down the list. So we're going to go with a 6.4 now, and I'm going to show you guys every single part that I bought to fix this truck. This is the 6.4 Powerstroke here. Some of you guys that are new know that I just bought this truck about 3 months ago. Right now, we haven't had a whole lot of problems with it other than the low side fuel pump going out. Check engine light is on. So let me show you all the fast fuel pump. This is the biggest fast fuel pump that Fast actually makes. This fast pump is a 290 GPH fast fuel pump. And to put into perspective, on my 6.0 Powerstroke, I have a 240 GPH fast fuel pump. So we're getting 50 gallons per hour more with this fast fuel pump than the 6.0 one. So we're gonna flow a lot more fuel, and we're gonna need bigger ejectors and a bigger high pressure pump to actually use all that fuel that we're supplying to the high pressure pumps. This is the special thing about this pump is it comes with a different sump. So you don't have to actually remove the tank. It goes on the bottom of the tank, and it goes up on the bottom of the tank, and it feeds a lot better. So you're able to run it below a quarter tank or however low fuel you wanna go on it. You can run it really, really dry, and that's good for my applications because the more fuel equals the more weight, and the more weight equals a slower speed. So I wanna keep as little fuel as possible in my diesel tank as much as possible because that'll actually shave a little bit of time off. It won't be a ton, but it'll be a little bit of time. And when you're trying to get 3.5 seconds 0 to 60, you need everything counts really. So it comes with all your hoses here, comes with all the relays and wiring that we need. Then it comes with a lower layer. And I'm not gonna actually pull this out, but this is the actual pump here. So the crazy thing about a 6.4 is when you change the fuel filters, you have to prime the system. So if you don't prime the system, you're gonna be sitting there cranking for hours and hours and hours and hours. That's why we charge what we charge to do it here at my shop if you want your 6.4 fuel filter to be replaced. We also can put a fast fuel pump at my shop. We're gonna be putting mine on before we do any customers to see kind of how this one reacts. We've seen customers come in with the fast fuel system, but nothing of this size. This size is humongous. Like this is the biggest pump you can put for fuel. Anyway, this is what I'm excited about. And this is a dual compound. This is a KC Fusion kit by KC Turbos. We sell these. I'm a dealer for KC. This is one turbo, guys. This is one turbo. The other turbo's over there, but that is the crazy part. It is a stage 2 KC turbo. So I went ahead and went on the website and bought the biggest turbo that I saw, and they shipped it to me, and now it's here. So this is one turbo, remember, one turbo. 6.4s come out of the factory with compound turbos, so you're already going to get a little bit more air with the 6.4. That's why I decided to keep the compounds. A lot of people were telling me to do a big single, so this is the smaller turbo here. This is the one that's going to be on the back side. So this is the other turbo here. This is the bit supposed to be the big one. This comes with all of our gaskets. They send you everything that you need to replace the turbo, so we will have nothing on there isn't reused. We're not going to be reusing much. Jesus. My goodness, guys. Yeah, this is the small side turbos. This one's humongous. This is a lot bigger than the factory ones. This is the only compound turbo kit that they offer at KC. We're gonna pull the factory ones out, and when we pull the factory ones out, I'll show you guys the size difference. Now, I wanna show you guys what we scanned for on the scanner. I'm gonna hand the deal over to Justin, and he's gonna show y'all guys what we scanned on the 6.4 to ensure that it was the low side fuel pump going out.
Looked over the truck, and we didn't really get to catch it when it happened, but we had a 2291 basically saying the injection pressure was low. A lot of times on these 6.4s, the low side fuel pump goes out, and then Josh was already gonna replace it with the fast anyway, so we're gonna see if that fixes the problem. It hasn't happened in a good little while, but the fuel filters aren't clean either. Could have made the fuel pump go bad. So other thing he's got is a glow plug control module, which is super common on these trucks. It's the glow plug modules go out all the time.
Justin was able to film the diesel fuel leak pretty good. It's coming from the mechanical fuel pump, and that is really common on these trucks. The mechanical fuel pump goes out all the time. We've actually done quite a few here at my shop. We recommend this kit every single time to a customer. It's the Marty's e-fuel kit. They also sell other kits for this, but this is the kit that I found that is just one of the best. That being said, I'm gonna unbox it for you guys here, show you guys what it comes with and how it bypasses the mechanical fuel pump. You will have no more mechanical fuel pump in your valley. You'll have no more fuel filter housing in your valley. All that stuff will be gone. Comes with this box. There's a ton in here. This is the regulator return for your truck. It comes with this full kit here. There's also the fuel filter, so it's kind of like a fast pump. He actually designs all this in-house. Comes with all your hoses as well. Comes with some wire loom, so you can cover up all the wires, make it look really nice. And then all your hoses and fittings as well. So after I get rid of the diesel fuel leak, I'll probably bump up my fuel economy by 3 to 4 miles per gallon, in my opinion, just because that leak is so bad. It is literally leaking like a gallon an hour. Y'all can see it down there pretty good now. I mean, there's damn near a quart down there. We've had it idling for about 20 seconds. Imagine that on the open highway. It is just pouring out of there. Just mainly the only problem with my 7.3 Powerstroke, and it's got 300-something thousand miles on it. It has a small transmission fluid leak, and it also has a small rear axle leak, but minor fixes. They're cheap, easy fixes. So I didn't show this earlier, but this is the actual Marty's pump, Marty's e-fuel kit pump. One fuel filter will go here, one fuel filter will go here. So the 6.0 Powerstroke behind me, we got a couple of problems. We've got a oil cooler leak and a couple of other things that's just going wrong with this truck. The heads are actually about to explode off of this block too, because we're pushing so much boost, so much power. Probably getting up there between 45 and 50 pounds of boost on this truck, but it's pushing coolant out of the reservoir. It's exploding. It's just not going right. So we went ahead and got all of this stuff by Powerstroke products. It's going to be race heads, cam. We got head studs, head gaskets. I'm going to unbox it all for you guys right now, but this is the head studs that we got. All of these head studs right here are going to be for the 6.0 Powerstroke. So these are the performance head studs that they give us. We should be able to make upwards of 800 horsepower with all of this done to it. It is a O-ringed performance race head. So I'm going to unbox it right now for y'all. I've had these for probably 3-4 months now, and we just have not had the time to put them on. I am still making the video. It's been so hectic at the shop that we haven't really had time to do this. This is a project and a half. All right, here we go. Holy grail here. Holy moly. O-ring performance heads from Powerstroke products here. I'm like scared to open it because it's so, they're expensive. Last thing you want to do is drop this bitch. Oh, lady. So this is the head right here. I'm not going to take it out of the bag because I'm only going to take it out of the bag whenever we're ready to actually throw it on. It's going to allow for a lot more airflow, power. We're going to be able to make with this without lifting the heads up because of the head studs. I also have a stage 1 cam for this truck. So we're going to be able to open the valves up a lot more, get, like I said, a lot more air in and out of the engine. The cam is like the one thing that will probably make this 6.0 get to 800 horsepower. All this is also from Powerstroke products. They also sent us lifters as well. Right here, we got a performance cam. Basically everything you need to make that horsepower. We got bigger push rods or different push rods. With all of this done, we should be at 800 horsepower to the wheel. This is everything in front of us. Cam, lifters, push rods, studs, heads. We got head gaskets over there as well. Everything. When we build this out, if we're gonna do it right, we're gonna do a ton of stuff on it, and we're gonna make sure that it is a ripper. That is the goal here. Make this truck as fast as humanly possible with a stock bottom end. Stock bottom end is the key word here. Pull everything off. We're gonna make sure that the stock bottom end is okay. We're gonna check for cracks and everything like that because we have been pounding on this truck for quite a while, like literally hitting it off the limiter. This has probably been almost a year now. It's literally been a year that we've been just beating the absolute hell out of this truck. It's held up to everything so far. No problems yet, which is pretty good for the 6.0. So we'll be upwards at 1,000 horsepower at the crank. Huge numbers for the 6.0. And hopefully we can end up, if we put a built motor in it, we could end up actually reaching that 1,000 horsepower range. Which one is the most reliable? And in my opinion, I can't really tell. They're all pretty unreliable and they all have their own kinks and stuff that you need to work out. But to be honest, I think the newer body style 7.3 Powerstroke is hands down the most reliable Powerstroke out there. The most unreliable, I would have to say, is the 2011 through 2014 6.7s or the 6.4 Powerstrokes. Those are hands down the most unreliable vehicle. We can work out those kinks for you here at my shop. If you guys want to get anything from us, it'll be linked in the description down below, or call the number on the screen to get anything done or worked by us. Peace out, guys.